Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Jumpchain Villains, Land of Heroes.
Oh no, my game froze.
Oh god,
Rogue,
this
Oh,
is not
my
good.
one did too.
Rogue, what have you done?
This is my test of the server, okay? If it freezes, it's
Server,
going
let us play.
25D 100.
God.
What
Yeah,
I
you
just
see,
did,
I have-
what happened with my Rogue 25, I wouldn't do it, no. I do not want to see
How about $100D?
No.
No,
Sit down and
that
be-
would set this shit on fire.
Yeah, my entire computer is lagging
element-
so
oh.
hard right now. So many dice were just thrown. Yeah, my Discord's dying. My Google is my Firefox
Rogue,
is
what have you
dying.
done?
I do not have this much power
Stop
to be
sending
honest.
so many.
No, he.
Let the server kind of stabilize, because
Stop rolling, demon.
apparently
not demon,
I
that's-
am
no, that's
more
demon.
powerful than I thought.
Alright, there we go. Yeah, 1d3s
Okay.
don't show up. Only the d4, d6, d8, d10, d12, d20, and d100 do.
Exactly.
There's this beauty at its finest, everyone.
That's true. Alright, there we go.
Oh well.
Ooh,
Are we
that
good now,
was
Sin?
painful. That was painful. But anyways, so
Hold on,
welcome to
that
another
was-
episode
What?
of
Roll
Land of Heroes.
D100.
Welcome to another episode of Land of Heroes. Roasted is not currently with us today, as he is currently doing something else. I'm not sure what, but something else. But anyway, so we are continuing the fight that we had last time. I believe Roasted was frozen last time, which was fine
Yeah,
because he had to go
he-
anyways. You guys are currently just beaten to a blight pulp. I have healed all of you guys by +3 health because Jumpchain found, not fun, Jumpchain, what's his face? Erebus found it funny to keep you guys going. Lightning Head is nearly dead. Bog Head has not been touched, but it just spits on you guys. Fire Head is halfway dead. Water Head is halfway dead. Frost Head is 2/3.
A 1/3?
A 1/3? Yeah, 1/3 dead. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so Rogue, it is now your turn. The Lightning Head has
Okay.
the possibility of knocking out 2 of your teammates,
Process
or
is
the possibility of
process.
knocking itself out. Frost Head.
To be
Several
honest, I am a gambling man, and I think his odds aren't in his favor. So,
Hasn't
Well,
been
I-
so
well, I-
far, so...
what
you
I
have a
will
lot more
do
enemies, too.
is try to attack the Frosted with a fire punch. So,
Ooh, very nice.
Please.
So roll a d20, see if you can hit. You are close to it. That does hit. Roll the fire damage thing. First one is how many turns it lasts. Second one is how much damage you do. It lasts for 2
Ooh.
turns and it does 3 damage per turn.
damage.
So
that was
you take
good.
immediate 3 damage. It takes immediate 3 damage, and it is now on fire.
It,
Nice.
Take
like it should
another
be.
point of
that's a
damage next.
waterhead,
Good God.
but
All
that's a
right.
waterhead. He said
Oh.
frost.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry. +3.
Also, I forgot he's blind. The waterhead.
Yeah, the warhead is indeed blind. Doesn't actually affect it very much considering it has 6 other heads to use, but it is quite annoying
It's
to
like,
it.
it's kind of like seeing with different eyes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
So-
I put my swords in his eyes.
The Roasted is frozen to the ground, can't move. It's the Firehead's turn. Let's
Oh.
see. It's annoyed at Rogue, but
Aggro.
Roasted also has aggros. Let's see whether or not its aggro is strong enough. 1d2, 1 is roasted, 2 is rogue. Come on.
Come on.
It's
Oh
rogue.
no!
Oh
Rogue.
dear. Well.
And it hit you. Same thing. Oh, just barely hit you. So close. Just barely hit you. The fire was like licking at your feet, and it just kind of licked a little bit too hard. Only lasts for 1 turn, but you do take half of your health. Oof, the fire is just chomping on your feet.
It definitely is. It's my own element, and it's just biting me. That's fun.
It reminds you of when you were shocked many times, and your feet were lit on fire many times.
I did not miss that.
Which one should I? Which one? I'm gonna consult my my adversary / attendant. Azul. Which one should I hit with water?
Many ones to attack. Lightning for the love.
Yeah, try to take out.
It will only give you 1 health, no matter what. If you hit the lightning, it will guaranteed 1 health.
But 1 health, I use 3.
Yeah, but anything else will give you a 1d3 of health. But lightning will only give you.
I'm not using my water then to heal. Action.
You could heal.
Yeah, I could get 1 health.
You could heal 1 health, or you can attack something else and heal up to
Attendant
3 health.
or advisor Azul, what should I do? Water or just regular attack? For a roll, I need to know. Water? Okay.
True. I mean,
okay, so I'm going to use my water magic and basically...
Considering the fact that it's almost dead, considering the fact that you are more or less standing, you do just instant kill it. You don't even have to roll for it. It's just dead. But you do get 1 health from that.
Kill it anyway?
Yeah, it won't even be a challenge to hit. I can guarantee that.
So I just want to say this right here. I used a signature fairy tale attack, Water Dragon Roar, to shoots out a water torrent. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, it wouldn't.
Oh God!
It wouldn't be able to dodge. You just hit straight.
Why?
All right, the bulkhead. It decided to insult all of you once more and just all over you. Yep, all over.
Are you serious?
It's its thing. We do nothing about it, and it just spits.
Yeah, it's just
your clothes
your clothes are just being eaten at this point. It's kind of awkward and
it's a process.
Well, but, you know, just imagine a bunch of sensor bars all over your chests. You know. Okay, so Burnett, is now your turn. You can water attack something, you could freeze something like it does to you guys. You guys are now on more or less equal grounds, 4 against 4. I say more or less because the boghead doesn't do anything and the frog just kind of cancels you guys, but...
Yeah, it's a waterhead, that's what
so again, it will be even grounds, so attack. A 20 will do it better.
Yes.
Roll a 1d3. Roll 1d3.
Double the health.
Yeah, boy. Oh my god.
Oh, 6.
The warhead takes 6 damage, you gain 6 health.
Wow, he saved himself from that.
Wow, you got, that, oh boy.
But it only heals if it, ooh. I say we did this a good too.
Alright, it's going to attempt to do the exact same thing it keeps doing to Burnett, which is beat the crap out.
Oh.
With also water. Unfortunately, it does not do double water, but it does water.
Oof.
1.
Barely any water. Like, he just hit with like a freaking waterfall of God, and it just kind of splashed.
How does it feel, Waterhead?
Alright, Frosthead, once again, is just going to freeze roasted. Because, yeah.
He's not here.
Yeah, he's not here.
Fair.
This is how we say he's not, part of the fight. He's just being frozen like a icicle in summer. Slowly.
Exactly.
And irritating.
Okay, Rogue.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
3 more damage then.
Yep, 3 more damage to the warhead. And then you have the Frosthead, Firehead, and Bulkhead.
Frosthead. That was I attacked the Frosthead.
Oh, you attacked the Frosthead again?
Yeah. No,
damage is
right,
on the
right.
frost.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you
and then
are
it's no
burning
more
it.
damage from him now.
Yep. Sorry,
Okay,
I completely
well,
forgot. It's now
It's a
practically
boost to
on
cold.
top of all you. Oops.
I am gonna try to take out that frosthead again because it's just one less annoying person to deal with.
Okie dokie.
Yes, good idea.
So free, you are on equal grounds with it. Practically on top of you. Oof.
Oh.
Unfortunately, your your what are you doing? Fire, I think.
Yeah, fire. Yeah.
Yeah, your fire unfortunately just does the same thing it did against that dark thing. It kind of floated in the air for a second, then just kind of spurred out like weird, gooey goo things that just kind of rubs the ground. Kind of awkward. You're not quite sure what it did.
I hate this world.
I just imagine the goo just moving and like screaming like it's a living organism after that.
All right.
Be like,
All right,
oh
it's
god,
now
it's
roasted.
alive.
Roasted gets passed. Firehead. Firehead's turn. Firehead is going to burn the crap out of Burnett because Burnett was an asshole to it. Oh,
Burnett hasn't done anything to the firehead.
Well, okay. The firehead is part of the body.
Oh.
So when you hurt part of the body, it hurts part of the body. Does 3 damage to
could be worse. Could be worse.
3 damage to Burnett, but doesn't do any lasting damage. It's just on fire.
Burnett, I just realized. After my turn, I'm gonna be attacking the firehead water. If I miss, you can still get more health from him. I'm attacking with my water magic against the fire.
Okay, roll 1d3.
Okay.
Nice.
Oh, 3.
Alright, so I'll take the first one, which is take 3 damage to it, and add 3 damage.
Yay!
Man, you guys are recovering from your spell. I was expecting you guys to get dunked on. Now that the boghead is literally on top of you people,
oh no.
someone try biting the crap out of...
Nothing! Yes! Yes!
It attempts to bite Rogue, but unfortunately, because it hasn't done anything to you people so far, it just kind of like slams its head next to Rogue and just kind of like rubs the ground with its disgusting face of bogginess. Anyways. Yeah, I mean, I just do R/R1d3. But anyways, Burnett, it's your turn. Eventually, I'll have actual macros for this stuff. I have learned how to do macros, so I'm going to be doing a lot more macros. Okie dokie. With water, you unfortunately miss. As the water is coming towards it, it spits, hitting the water and making it fling right over its head.
It's okay, we still have one turn to get it done.
It is now the warhead, and the warhead is actually going to try biting Roasted here.
Oh no.
Which again, it misses. Horribly and entirely, Frosthead just freezes him in place again. Rogue, your turn.
Roasted.
Okay.
Both of these heads have now just hit the ground, moved back up, and looked very confused. Very different from last game. Yeah.
No. What can I... What?
You could actually... this is my opinion, if you want it. You could attack the frost head. Or you could attack the boghead and lower it, because the reason why I'm saying this is because the frost head is almost dead.
Uh-huh.
And
well,
I would say I could take down the frost head, either the fire or bog, I would say attack. Because those two later on will be a problem. I could take down the frost head.
Okay. I know. I might try to move away a little bit to keep my distance from the boghead, because that close call was just too close.
Yeah, it was very close. The ground is also now a puddle of poison.
So, I'm just gonna move back a little bit, yeah. And attack the firehead again. So
Good.
Okay. You're on a little bit awkward ground, so it will be 11 to hit. Okay.
Ooh.
That's a 10.
Yeah,
Because you're
Shit.
stepping backwards and because you have to refit yourself and whatnot, as you fire out the firehead, it does veer off just barely to the right of the head, flinging over where the earth head used to be. If you were actually aiming for the earth head, that would have been an amazing shot.
Mm-hmm.
The firehead
So,
takes this as a challenge, and now that Roasted is no longer here to once again take over the challenge, it will now attempt to fire its own thing.
Oh.
It misses you entirely just like you did.
So
The fire
having
sputters
trouble-
out your feet, this time not burning
Mother.
you because you have quick feet instead of
Huh.
other things. Yeah, you guys just a fireball launching match at this point. Alright, Mel?
So
Are you having trouble with your fireballs, man? Man, this just seems embarrassing.
I'm gonna use my water on the frost. No, I'm gonna use it on the water head.
Okay.
That way, Azul can get more HP from the fire head if he
Okey-dokey.
gets it.
So,
So I'm gonna get rid of the
roll
water.
d20, and you miss, unfortunately.
That
Again, as
sucks.
the war flies towards the warhead does the exact same thing it did to Brunette, which is shoot your war bullet out of the air.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, it's starting to expect it now. The boghead has decided that smacking its skull into the floor was not the best and smartest idea it's ever had, so it's going to start spitting on you people. It feels like this is a much better and much more worthy adventure of its opportunity than meeting the ground with its face. Yeah. So,
Which one do you want to attack, Azul?
Yep. Burnett, it is now your turn. You have 4 enemies, one which is having an existential crisis in the bow. Okay, war on war. Smart plan. You...
Oh,
barely! Oh, boy!
Barely.
that's a good hit, even if it's
Yeah.
barely.
So ooh, it's dead.
Yes.
So as the war flies forward, it does once again another attack to launch out a bolt towards you. But you have outsmarted it, as you actually fired 2! The first one gets smacked by its own bullets, but the second one smacks it in the face,
It
murdering
basically
its
creates
soul.
a storm cloud that.
What?
It creates like a smoke screen that just goes through the water goes through, and it
Come on.
like, oh yeah, I did it. I blocked the attack, and it just sees the second one. Oh shit.
Now that it's at a slight disadvantage now, considering it has 3 heads, the Frosthead has decided not to freeze people, and instead is just going to try eating Roasted. It was on a 9, too. It misses Roasted, the immovable target that it can't even
How
look
did
at.
it miss?
It licked his toes and missed.
Oh man.
How far?
Well, I mean, like,
how long
if
did
it
you
was
say
a
versus
9,
the
it
name?
would have hit. So it literally was like 2 inches from its foot.
God, sorry.
Good. Alright, Rogue, it's now your turn again. You just watched this Frosthead, like, practically lick at the boots of Roasted.
Oh, I am going
Kinda
to. Well, I would take that one out, but I think I'm gonna try to take out the firehead. To be honest,
Okie dokie.
with a fire blast.
You guys didn't even need the +3 health I gave all of y'all.
Fuck you. I would have been dead.
Hey, I have 3 health
Hey.
left. Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's
So-
true.
I had 0 when we
Yeah, I would
started.
have died. So
Oh, yeah. Alright, so,
I would've been
Rogue,
dead.
roll your fire damage.
okay. Fire damage.
Ooh, nice. Alright, so for 3
Okay.
turns, it does 1 damage. 2 turns. You know what I mean. Alright,
Yeah.
it is now on fire. The firehead's on fire. Again, Roasted is just going to try slashing at the bulkhead and decides to just back up a little bit. He's tired of being frozen to the ground. He's very cold where he is. He's trying to find some way to warm up. Thankfully, there's a lot of fires on the ground from both of you just spitting fireballs all over the arena. So it's quite warm where he is now. You know, it's just over here, just like chilling by the fire. You know, just having a fun time. Just, chill. Well, not chill, warm. Anyways, the firehead once again takes your burning fire against... Who are you talking to, sir?
I
He's in the
think-
chat.
Yeah, I
Is
think
he?
so. Yeah, I see him. Yeah,
Yeah, he's in the game.
he's in
Not-
the you just gave him the game.
Oh,
yeah.
he is in the game.
Yeah, you
Oh, okay,
rolled right.
cool. In that case, I'll actually let him reroll it once he gets into the call. In other words, we're going to ignore that his turn actually happened. And the
Well,
Firehead
well-
is once again going to take a Rogue's challenge as a challenge, because he's now currently on fire. And he's going to burn Rogue. Because he's very tired of being on fire.
Oh,
You-
good.
And not too much. That's pretty lucky. So
You still have 2
Oop.
HP.
Sorry.
I am on one
supposed to be minus.
help.
Yeah,
I am
it
surprised.
slides onto your arm and just kind of like coats your arm in fire. I roasted.
Okay,
Kind of like
Yeah.
coats your arm in fire.
Sorry,
and
I'm-
it's just kind of tingly.
I've got a few minutes here, so I'll make the best of what I can do.
Okie dokie. You guys are actually
Okay.
about to kill the damn thing too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
After
Anyway.
we kill this, I'll get off because I gotta go do something.
Yeah.
Okey-dokey.
Do you
Anyways.
want to have his really quick turn, or do you want
Yeah.
need to go?
Cause yeah. Again, back to Roasted's turn. So Roasted, do your whatever you're gonna do.
I'm going to attack it.
Which
Okay.
one?
Let's see what I do. Ooh!
Damn, son. All right, which one are you gonna punch?
The Frosthead,
Okie dokie.
because that's been a pain in the ass.
Yeah, it kept
Yeah,
freezing
yeah.
you. So
You were the only one frozen for a while.
All right. Let me roll my damage.
It's basically you already killed it.
No,
It's half
come
health.
on.
Never mind.
Oh, that was so close. It almost killed it. All right, Mal, your turn to finish it to death.
I'm just gonna get rid of the frost head just to sneeze on it. You got it, bud. Sneeze.
You took it
Apparently it was
literally
time.
and
I have
decided
to
to
look
sneeze
over
in
to
its general
Roosted.
direction.
Sneeze on him.
You decided to take it literally and sneeze in its general direction. You're not quite sure if it's because you were cold or not, but you feel like it
I
did.
just feel the
nothing.
frost head's breath.
yep.
You feel like it did a total of nothing. Okay, so the boghead is once again quite annoyed, so it's going to try, hey, Burnett, what was your Ruby ability? I forget. Does anyone remember his Ruby ability?
I don't remember. Copycat, I think it was.
Oh, right, copycat, okay.
Yeah,
It is,
nothing.
once again, going to bash its skull into the ground.
And basically, this
Yeah.
copycatted me, if you think about
This
it.
boghead is
I got
very
hit by
stupid.
Azul so many times. It copycats me.
This boghead is very stupid. It keeps slamming its skull into the ground. It's very happy with its life, apparently. Alright, Burnett, it's your turn. Hit the warhead again, or are you going to knock the crap out of the frosthead?
It's like me with walls.
It's only going to be taking 2 more damage, so it's not quite dead.
No, the water head.
Yeah, that's the frost.
Oh,
head.
sorry, the firehead. Yeah, firehead or frosthead.
The frost head's 2 health. Firehead's 4 health.
It'll be down to
Boghead?
2 soon.
I'm not surprised I haven't attacked it yet, but
The boghead is literally just the only one that's going to be alive.
It keeps bashing its skull into the ground. It's so
Okay.
sad.
it
Okay.
must have inherited the traits of lightning.
Ooh,
Damn,
ooh.
Pete.
So he's going to enter the water. Oh.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
dude. Rogue's next turn. He's dead anyway. The firehead's
Very
gone.
much, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Alright, the frosthead
much.
is once again going to try slamming its skull into Roasted's face. Trying to bite him specifically.
Nope.
Nope.
Instead, he bites the firehead.
Oh, nice. Took himself out.
Rogue, your turn.
Yeah, it just ate its own skull. God,
Rogue,
it's so
I'm
smart.
just gonna throw this out there. We should start hitting the boghead. The frosthead is basically done once Roasted gets here.
It tried
basically.
flinging. So the frosthead tried flinging its head downwards, but accidentally managed to fling itself with so much force downwards, it moved itself back upwards and just slammed its teeth into the
So
firehead.
what happened to the lightning head?
Oh, I killed it.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
lightning head
just
was just
one-shotted
like
it.
pounded to the ground.
All right.
I killed it, Rogue. What the hell? Bud.
Like I said, we one-shotted it.
Oh, I thought you said I.
No,
My
I
bad.
didn't say I.
I
I
said
said
we.
That
we,
was my
but-
bad. I misheard.
okay.
That was-
Anyway, so
Right.
Rogue, it's now your turn. Would you like to
No.
burn the Frosthead into a pit of fire as it's currently looking quite depressed, or hit the Boghead, who's just stupid?
To be honest, I'm not sure whose misery should put himself out of. So
Just keep this one miserable because it needs. Just give this one an attack.
That's fair.
I probably will. I mean,
Because
4 against
roasted
2 is
could-
not good.
No, I-
roasted.
at this
kill
point,
this
I was thinking about using my lightning, but I
No.
basically vowed to not use it again because it kept lighting me. So
It did shock you as many times as the lightning.
exactly.
Don't
Go-
use the lightning.
So
Yeah.
I'll go ahead with the fire punch.
Okie dokie. On the bog.
Boghead, yep.
On.
And did not do anything.
You attempt to fire
First.
punch it, but unfortunately you slip on the weird, yucky goo stuff on here,
What-
and kind of gross. Boghead looks
why is this
pleased
stuff
with
even?
itself.
I hope we get to wipe that smug off your face,
I'm
Boghead.
just imagining it's bubblegum.
All right, it's my turn now.
Yep.
Let's see what I do. Do I? Okay,
Nice.
yay. Depending on my damage. Oh,
Damn, son.
Which
do you want to finish off the Frosthead, or do you want me to take down the Boghead?
I'm pretty bad at rolls. Just kill the Frosthead because I'm.
All
pretty
right,
bad
I
at
kill the
rolls. We
Frosthead
never
then.
know.
Alright,
We
Mr.
got-
Frosty Frost guy is dead, which means you only have the bog health left, which means Burnett just freezes the crap out of it. So, doesn't
It's my
actually.
turn, bud.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, it's just don't freeze it. So we'll get to Burnett. Maybe it will do something so unremarkably stupid. It just kills itself before you can get to Burnett.
I want that to happen. I'm hitting it.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
I walk away.
You just laugh. Yeah. This is entertaining to
walk
you. It hasn't
right
even gotten
here.
hurt yet.
You just cannot stand the
Mhm.
at this point.
It decided to smack Rogue in the face.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Yeah.
Am I gonna
Yeah,
pass
doing
out?
the only thing it ever does, which is gonna be hilarious.
If it get, yeah, I'm actually scared.
Yeah, Rogue
I
is
am
now
out.
unconscious.
Dang
Yeah,
it!
it's okay, bud. We'll avenge you.
The
Avenge me,
last
or
move it
else.
had was to look at Rogue. Rogue said, "We're gonna wipe that smug off your face." So it got a
sorry.
stupider smug and bashed its head into
Alright,
him.
who's it carrying?
Of course.
Oh, yeah, so it is now unconscious. It is now pretty much just dead at this point. Whoops.
Wait, what?
That was the map point.
Wrong. No, Rogue's. Has
Yeah,
not-
but
Yeah, this thing
Remember
pretty much
what-
dead. So, well, it gets
Who
frozen,
attacked it
more or
then?
less. But it can also change its
Alright.
form. Which is
So
why...
I guess I guess I just what happened?
we killed
yeah,
it,
you
I
guess
guess.
knocked it out.
With just a frozen. I didn't think Frost did damage.
Oh no, it doesn't do
Alright.
for damage. But this thing is a it can morph itself into literally any form
Okay.
that's ever eaten, tasted, licked, or
Says-
eaten the blood of. If
Alright.
it has the DNA of it, it
I'm
changes
gonna-
into it.
I'm sorry, guys. I gotta head out here.
You're good,
Okay.
man. We'll see you.
Right.
Yeah.
Peace. Okay, so it changes back into its other form, which looks kind of like a weird anime girl slash tentacle jellyfish creature
Basically-
thing. Yeah.
I'll walk over to it, look at it, say, hi. My
It looks
name's
at you.
Mal."
And you see like the scarf thing changing. Before the scarf moves down a little bit, you can also tell that the scarf it has, which let me just blow this up a little bit so you can see it a little bit better. The scarf it has starts wiggling around. You also notice it has saliva on it as the scarf moves, and you realize the scarf is its tongue. And its
So
mouth,
Is it a good ninja?
its mouth has about 7 rows of shark teeth.
Is this a Greninja because of the tongue?
No. But it has about 7 rows of shark teeth as it looks at you and gives you quite possibly the most disturbing smile you've
Hold on.
ever seen in your life.
Before you toss me, I look say, you're scary, and I'll walk away.
You hear in a particularly old man voice, Dinner time.
Screw it.
And
I'm running. Y'all can't make me stay there.
Legitimately, probably the creepiest thing you guys have ever seen. Now, I had more
I
for
walk
you
and
guys
hide
to
behind
fight
this
against
house.
in this thing, but it looks like you guys are pretty much beaten to a pulp at this point. So I'm not
you can
gonna.
say that.
So yeah, it's just this tiny little minion.
Can we just
creature.
capture it and just take it back to the?
You're welcome to,
can't-
although it is very difficult to capture because as you are watching it, it is currently transforming into 7 different shapes, all of which are very strange and very creepy, some of which look like tentacles, some which look like Cthulhu, some which look like an eel, one of which looks like a weird lizard.
So can we freeze this thing so we can keep it frozen until we get to the mad scientist? Because I think he'd be ecstatic if he would experimenting on this specimen.
Shit, I just realized.
Hmm?
Can I roll and see if I grab a Pokeball out of my storage?
Oh yeah, we have Pokeballs. I forgot about
The Pokeball does absolutely nothing to it.
I'm acting like Hinata from Naruto. I look at it. I'm scared enough and shy enough to put the Pokeball back in the warehouse. Be like, nah. Wait, Master Ball, I forgot you had one.
The Master Ball does absolutely nothing.
It's a one-hit KO move.
It's not a Pokemon. It's a weird tentacle god creature. Also, Pokeballs can only contain those that agree to being contained. Or are weak enough to, not be able to escape. But they can always choose to escape.
Well, there goes that idea.
Well, no, okay. Again, this is not a creature that can be contained by a master. It's not even the same universe.
So what do you do with it now?
Mafuba.
I mean, you guys are welcome to hold it,
I mean, will it be hostile against us if we hold it?
At the moment, it doesn't look very hostile. Although it does look like it wants to eat your shin.
I just act like Hinata from Naruto.
Can we talk with it this time?
You guys can try. I'm not entirely sure how much what you would get out of it, but you can try definitely.
I'm not trying to figure out what we can do because one, we have to get the trinket off or whatever necklace we have to get to.
You guys also don't really know where that is on it. It doesn't seem like it's on its person.
Wait.
So I think that's one reason to take this creature to the mad scientist.
Sin, question. I'm gonna roll 1d100. Below 50, I grab the necklace, but kick the thing into the ocean.
Well, the problem is you guys don't know where the necklace is. You guys can't see it on its person.
Exactly.
Fine. What? Okay, so below 100, I try to punt kick it all the way to the ocean. But yeah, if I get above 100, I punt kick it to the mad scientist.
But you want to punt kick it back to the ocean?
No, what?
What?
Just to fuck with us. Fine, I punt kick it to the main town if I get below 100.
When you mean below 50?
Below 50, it's the main town.
I mean, okay, your legs could not carry you that far. That's like hundreds of miles.
I will punt kick it. Strength overdose. Steroids.
How much killing you would literally have to shove your foot so hard against it that it would make it so your entire leg explodes.
I will break my leg. I will break my leg. I don't care. Science. That mad scientist kick. Whoosh.
Jesus Christ. Well, it starts flying through the air. Not quite to the mad scientist, but definitely through the air.
Where's it
Probably
land?
back over here somewhere. Why is it not loading? Green load.
Yes.
There we go. Probably like right over here-ish. Somewhere
as long
there.
as it's not a no. But that's...
I
I made a reference.
Well, at least it's out of its element.
Yeah. Is a super old creature though, so who knows? But anyway, so you guys, let me go. Is this the place I had? No, but we're going to say this is because I don't want to change maps again.
Where's my character?
That I had to put you guys. This is a previous map.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, 3 of them are here. That's why I was wondering. They're all pretty badly separated.
Oh, there they are. Yep, they are
Oh, they're
indeed
down
over
there.
here. Wait, actually. Rogue, your health was.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
Off.
Yeah, I'm the shortest. I don't know how he's the
I know. He was unconscious at
I'm
this
fun
point. So.
size. I'm fun size.
Not true.
Then for Owen. Who's currently saying he
Actually,
seems to be just kind of investigating the places. Oh, in the distance, you guys can see the head of the gigantic dinosaur creature you guys are seeing somewhere over here. You know, it looks pretty dead. Looks like he's experimenting with its spleen.
So where's
Owen, hey.
Oh, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Or just
Hey.
gentlemen. I don't know what you creatures are. And you're inferior in species is just weird. But anyways, hello and welcome. Did you guys die against the war thing? Probably not because you're alive.
I punt kicked it?
Yeah, he punted it somewhere in this area. Which, let me tell you something. You might be interested in capturing it alive, because turns out the water god was a shapeshifter who can shift into any size between big as a whale to the size of a forearm, as far as I can tell.
Very nice. That sounds
And
like
it looks-
a weird creature.
It is, and its primary form, from what I can tell, which is what you'll be looking for, is looks like a. Do you know what an anime girl looks like?
Yes, I've eaten several.
It's a shark frog anime creature.
Yeah, it's it's kind of a squid anime girl type being.
With
That's
shark teeth.
small.
Oh, I remember
True.
seeing that. Hold on a moment. Oh, I'll be right back. Hold your horse. It's like 5 minutes past, and he comes back. He's like, this weird-ass creature that I saw flying through the air a couple of minutes ago.
Yeah, I punt kicked it. Did you enjoy your flight?
Whoa, that
It's unconscious.
worked out better than we thought. Okay.
I run over to it. Did you enjoy your flight? I basically hug it.
Completely
I'm squeezing.
unconscious, to the best of your knowledge. And if it had the ability to, it probably would have eaten your arm at this point.
That's
Okay,
fine.
yeah.
How you know
Well,
it's
the risk.
unconscious?
Worth the risk.
Okay,
to hug it.
Yeah. I go over to Uren and can I talk to him for a little bit and ask him if he can help us find the necklace or whatever is on this that we're supposed to.
Oh, yes,
Or the
these things.
squeezing
You
it.
see, the asshole in the sky, I mean, our demon lord and savior who's in some kind of weird alternate dimension that doesn't give a shit about any of us. Yes, he decided to give all of us these necklace things. I don't exactly know what this one's weird-ass necklace is, but I imagine it's inside of its stomach. So hold on just a moment. It grabs its
Hold on.
mouth and opens it up, and the 7 rows of shark teeth, yeah, they're very big and very scary. And he just shoves his hand in there.
Oh wow.
I'm basically hugging
wait,
it.
no, that's his heart. That's spleen. No, I think I'm still inside of its stomach.
I'm basically can carry
No,
it off
that's
by my
that's its
collar.
anus. On the back a little bit. That's its intestine. Where is this thing? Huh? You notice that he's now bleeding heavily from his arm, but he's just like, let's see. That's its. Would that be counted as a spleen? You have a spleen? He's like, look at this creature, which is slowly waking up. He's like, you have a spleen? I don't think you have a spleen. Hold on. I mean, you could probably have a spleen. You can shapeshift. Who cares, you know? He's like, there it is. And rips his entire arm out. There's about 3 layers of teeth embedded inside of his arm as he rips the thing out. Also, its heart.
You,
Several of them.
you, my good sir. are a truly intriguing scientist.
Whew. Oh, I got free heart. Sweet. I wonder how this thing
So
works.
really, Sid,
Oh, well.
I just want to point out while the scientist is doing this and Rogue is observing this, I have 2 broken arms now because of Azul, and he's dragging me by my collar to drag me away. I'm over here yelling, "No, Squid Girl, come back!"
God. The Elwyn hands the weird, disturbing. It's like the third piece that you guys got now, but it's covered in goo. You're not quite sure if this is interdimensional, creepy alien stomach acid, or if this is heart pieces, or both.
No, give it to Roasted, because since he's been gone, give him the slimy creature of Nicholas.
Alright, it actually connects to the other necklaces, which Rogue currently has on his chest, I believe.
Oh.
Ah,
Yeah.
Well, you
It's like in a
slimy
5-star
one.
pattern of sorts.
Slimy one.
that's kind of hoping it would be clean itself, but.
Oh, you
just
wanted
wanted
it
it-
clean? I
it is-
apologize. Let's see. He turns it around a little bit. He starts licking it clean.
So,
that works, I guess.
That
I look over my shoulder. I wanted anime.
this
Maybe
tastes
it had
like
anime titties.
not the worst thing I've ever had. I wonder what spleen tastes.
No
I
anime.
was about to ask you that myself. I mean, this creature does look like it might be part squid. He is a shapeshifter after all.
Interesting. He hands you it absently and takes the heart, and he's like, shape-shifting heart. He rips open his chest frame and just kind of shoves it in there. He's like, you connect this to there. His hand is inside of his chest now. Connect this to there. Connect that to there. He pulls out again. Does this thing have the right connections? It's not dripping his own blood, by the way. Oh, it needs another hole. Sorry, guys, I forgot. Other hearts don't work like mine. Stabs it with his finger. There we go. Dunk. Da 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 da. I have another heart now. It beats kind of as well. You know, it's kind of odd. I feel like I taste some regenerative juice. Maybe that's just its spleen. Anyways, come back and starts looking over the thing. It's practically dead now. It's kind of awkward. It looks like he's like, come back when you're probably gonna go with the ice place, but don't worry about it. Come back when you're done with the ice place and you beat the god dragon, and I'll have something for you out of this creature. Whatever I don't use, I'll give to you.
Okay.
Probably a smoothie. I wonder what smoothie this.
Looking forward to it, yeah.
Yeah, don't worry.
I'm
He
glad
grabs
you
one of his teeth and rips it off and starts chewing on it. Yeah, don't worry. It'll be fine. You know, come back in a little bit. Teeth are good. Have you had one of these? Tastes amazing, like shark teeth. You eat so many of them, it's just calcium. Oh, you guys probably want some information on the frost area, don't you?
Yeah, that would be helpful because we have no clue about. The only thing we know about the place is that it's a frozen wasteland that no one survives.
Yeah. Well, you see, might as well save this.
well
He puts the half-eaten tooth into his back pocket. Oh, you see, the Frostland is very fun. He says that with a tone that makes you think it's not fun in the slightest. You see, the entire place is covered in ice. It's all about people who can use ice. The people who live there are inside giant crevices, mostly contained from the ice. That way they don't get eaten. And every single animal in there is blind. They hunt purely off of sound. And they all freeze you in place so they can eat you. Usually by ripping off a few pieces of you, bit by bit by bit. It's kind of where I learned how to take apart, animals, actually. Yeah, they just kind of rip you into pieces. So you get frostbitten so badly that you don't actually start bleeding very quickly. So they can rip off your entire arm, and you'll be still be perfectly fine for the next 2 hours. And then they'll rip off your leg too, and then they rip off your other one. Sometimes they'll just go for your eyes directly. Kind of weird, but they all work on sound, which is why almost all of them are incredibly quiet, and ambushes are very common in that area. You may imagine why no one goes in there. But the number one creature is by far the second oldest creature. Well, maybe third. Actually, it's not. Not that old. I don't know how old it is. I haven't been over there for a very long time. It's quite cold. You may have noticed by the ice. But I haven't been over there for a long time. But the one creature in there that rules over the land, and probably where the asshole in the sky, who's really just a buttocks that we pulled something out of, he kind of probably stuck it in the jaw of the weird giant, dragon that lives there. It gets annoyed at any sound, and so when things make sounds, it pops out of its giant icicle, which is actually its back, and then it eats whatever made the sound. Probably why everything's quiet in there.
It's a good thing that I'm a silent assassin, so...
Yeah, you make sound in there, and it's likely going to eat you.
Yeah,
Quickly.
that's what I'm gathering right now.
So don't let me go in there.
But here's the thing.
They want a
We
bomb.
might need everyone for this battle, man.
Yep.
Of course,
It may
we
be
have...
kind of difficult, but the number one thing inside the frost area, which is why I mainly don't care, is that everything freezes you in place. Everything.
Rogue, do you have a bomb?
Everything.
Dress warmly and have fire with you. Okay.
I
Yeah,
think Rogue has a bomb. Elwyn definitely doesn't have a bomb. He likes to touch things and use them.
I might have a bomb. I don't know.
I'm just knocked out trying to get Nachos to come back. Also, you have a point as well. I think out of everything that we faced so far, Water God, hardest.
Yeah, Water God was supposed to be very difficult for you guys, so I'm quite happy that.
Would be easier. I'm going to say this. I'm going to guess it's going to be easy because this took what 3 episodes to do.
It took you guys like 2 episodes to get through the entire war area, mostly because the Water God was very brutal.
Yeah, I think the frost area at the most would be 1.5 areas. Like we'll get halfway done. Like we'll do 1 episode, we'll get to the boss, finish it in half episode.
Honestly, I think before we go to the Frostland, I think we just stock up on supplies and whatnot.
Yes.
See what we can
Might be a
find.
good idea, yeah. You guys have like literally nothing to your name right now.
Exactly. I mean, and plus I need to get out of my warehouse, so I'll take a couple things, but
We
Okay, cool.
already decided we're going to do the frost head. This is like
exactly.
Alright, so I'm assuming you guys are gonna stock up and then head towards the frost area and the cold.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm just mumbling Nachos come back every like 5 because I'm knocked out.
Jesus Christ.
Well, also,
Yeah, you guys are planning on doing the
being
bog
dragged
blast.
over Zool's shoulder.
Yeah. Alright, so you guys are now in this area. Wait, let me. That's the wrong map technically. I mean it works.
Are we going to continue this episode still, or are we going to stop?
Yeah, we have like an hour to go.
Well, I don't know because Roasted not here, so I didn't know if we were just going to continue.
Oh yeah, we'll just continue. As I always say, if you guys don't join for a video, we just continue the videos. Why have you guys join the videos?
Okay.
Why
The
it's
reason why I
important.
asked is because I didn't know.
Yeah,
I'm also going to be my commute for the rest of the time.
Good.
I'm getting a headache, and I have to calm down.
Token layer. That's the token layers. Being Alright, cool. So this is the ice area. That's going very jaggedy, very rocky, very painful. If you guys are not. Rogue, roll d20.
Okay.
Being careful is not typically in your expertise. And it still isn't.
And it still is not.
So as you guys are walking through the area, Rogue accidentally says something just a little bit too loudly. And normally this level of talking is not actually that important. Because, everyone else is talking at the exact same level. But apparently for Rogue, specifically for Rogue, the world hates him. So avalanches start coming down.
Oh dear, we need to run now.
Yep, running
Yeah.
would be quite important for all of you.
Yep. Do not want to be trapped in the snow.
What's going on? We say we went to the... Yeah, you guys can go from the ice area to Meltdown. It's a very quick ride. 13, very nice. Avalanche, avalanche time, avalanche.
Do I need to roll?
Doing. Drop piece. Oh, that's a smart plan, actually. Yeah. Managed to rip off a piece of the nearby mountainside, just a little outcropping of it, and lift it over you guys' heads. So the massive amount of snow is actually sliding off of it in kind of an angle, so you actually aren't carrying the entirety of the weight of the snow as you guys are hanging forwards. It's very difficult, very painful, and mostly makes it so you guys can climb to the top of this thing, which is very difficult, actually. But on the plus side, you guys do see a little won't be a dick. Fine. Totally fine. Oh, you're not. Things now. This is totally fine. Yep, that's the one I wanted. Uh-huh. That's the one that I wanted. Yep, that's right. Yep. Thanks. Thanks, world. That's totally correct. There we go. Much better, I guess. Trying to deal with a bunch of maps is very difficult when they all don't want to work with. No? Okay. So, you guys are now walking along. God, man, I deleted. Alright, this is just dying, alright? Alright, anyways. So, you guys are walking along. You guys do see a bridge that is also helpful to take cover from the massive amount of ice, snow, death, pain. Are you eating the maps?
What? What?
Eat,
Why
what
are
was
you
that?
eating the maps?
It's just like nom nom nom. Rogue's like, no, we need the maps.
Why? Why are you eating the thing that we are depending on to get us through this wasteland?
We
Why?
need the maps, yo. Alright. So you guys are running across, and you guys do see a little bit of a small alcoving, which I shall label with a town here. Not actually a town, but it's the closest thing you guys are going to find in such a horrifying wasteland. Just be illustrated by this tiny house. Will you guys go down the path, or will you guys go towards the house?
First off, I'm seeing what Azul typed, and it's like, eat the ice and we can get to the... Why would that work against the boss? I mean,
Ice
why am I even asking?
Like snow cones.
Okay.
That
Yeah,
big.
true, but
Don't eat the yellow snow.
well, all right. Which path do we take?
You guys can go up this mountainside, across the bridge, and there. Or you guys go directly forwards. Probably kind of painful for y'all, because you don't know if there's an ambush. It's very quiet.
Can I use my senses to look around, see if I notice anything? Because
you're also welcome to roll an D20 for you. Shockingly, your lag does not screw you over again. You do see a couple of bodies, warm bodies specifically, for down the road as well as to both your guys' sides, quite a distance from you, but they look to be attracted from the noise of the massive amount of snow that has fallen from there.
Guys, I think we shouldn't go down the road. I think it might be better to go up the mountain.
Both things are dangerous, and both things are in fact there, but the house at least is in part of an outcave, so it's not like
actually. So, okay, now I think, you know what? I might hate myself for this, but if it goes bad, but let's go to the house. We, I am absolutely freezing here.
Very cold. Considering right here. Oh, there we go. I don't know if that worked. I probably did. Try and make this bigger, shall we? Like a 40 font. That's too big. It cannot click it again. All right, can't click it again. Oh, there we go. How about we turn this into like a 26? There we go. I'll go with noise. We change that from black to. There we go. Alcoat, and that's kind of painful to look. Blue. Blue kind of fades. God damn it! Why is there not a color that works? That's purple. No, that's dark blue. What about green? Green works. Green makes it look. Okay. 7-2 is me swinging a sword hard enough to rip out the ground in front of it. Lime green works. Yeah. So this path is more or less clear, but you do see in the far distance there are a bunch of creatures. These paths are also more or less clear at the moment. Well, you guys can dig your ways up, but the little alcove here is quite nice. Get warm at least. There does appear to be a lot of sound bouncing off inside this alcove, which probably confuses deaf creatures. So it's probably a nice place to rest as well and get information if you get.
Yeah,
directly
probably a
forwards
good
is
idea.
more
Yeah, let's go directly forwards because I think I have a good feeling from this building. Because if it was a dangerous spot, this building wouldn't exist, or the people that built it were really tough. So either way, it might be a safe area. Okay, let's go.
Alright, so Rogue starts heading off towards the bridge, across the bridge, and. Alright, so the alcove is actually kind of warm. Because of the way that the ice, and it is like sheer ice walls, by the way, that is kind of been like a tent almost on top of these things. Because the way that is formed, it actually gives natural protection against the avalanches that usually occur, as well as give a little bit of warmth because the hot air bouncing against the walls back down towards you guys. But also because the way that the walls are, when sound hits the walls, it bounces wildly. So it's very, very, very difficult for anything to really navigate in there purely based on sound. Also gives you guys a slight headache from the fact that every sound in there is multiplied by like 50 times. But is at least warmth.
True.
And you guys do see... let's see. I'll put... Yeah, you see. This guy. Make you smaller. Alright, you do see this guy. He's wearing practically nothing, which you don't know is a sign of bravery or stupidity in this weather. But he does seem to be kind of unbothered by most things, and almost just sweating as well, oddly enough, as he approaches you. Welcome, traveler. It's been a long time.
Welcome. I'm glad we could be here. So
yes, we do not get many travelers out this way.
I can imagine with what we've dealt with so far, and from what we've heard. I'm glad to encounter someone that survived out here.
It's a nice place. This is my alcove. He gestures to a couple of other mini tents structures of sorts beyond him, which has a couple of people going back and forth. It's a small community, probably about 20 people, but it does seem more or less self-reliant. So it is a nice area at least. And then he continues with like, this is my community. We survive mostly based on the natural area's echolocation destroyer, essentially. Makes our lives easy. And also easy to hunt. He gestures you guys to move out of the way before he grabs a rock and shunks it onto the snow. He hits a specific part of it, which was actually ice, with such unbelievable force that it pops open, essentially, almost like a bomb. just from the sheer force of him throwing it. And you guys also notice that about 6 or 7 different ice wolves actually stomp on, like they jump down almost as if they are hunting that area immediately as he throws it. And as he does, he grabs out his spear, which you guys didn't notice was on his back, which is also tied to a rope, and shunks it at the wolf. 2 of them dodge, one of them gets hit in the face. And he grabs the rope and starts pulling it back. Hunting is easy when they are blind and dumb.
I can see that. Yeah.
Anyways, traveler. He puts the wolf on his back. Probably why he's sweating so much, considering how much fur these things have. There's also ice in the fur, which is now digging into his spine, but he doesn't seem to notice as he starts walking back to the main camp. What would you like to know?
Well, he'd like do you have you encountered here that we expect to run into on our journey?
Do they have bombs? They have small bombs, not particularly large ones, mostly just handheld stuff from the ice that's contained in the frost wolf's fur. If you have a lot of it together and you shunk outward somewhere, just like the ice wolves can, there it explodes, essentially. Okay. Small bomb doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but is quite effective. And he looks at you as he starts skinning the ice wolf. For the most part, we do not have a lot of animals. All of them are blind, and many are stupid, so they don't survive too well. The ones that we do have out here are very simple and very, very... let's see. Specifically, they have... that list at least. Ice wolves. Centipedes of sorts. Not really centipedes, but like ice centipedes. Frost giants. Those are particularly dangerous. Yetis and frost salamanders as well is also another thing that they have... down here. All of which are quite dangerous, as he states, but all of them are, again, typically blind. The only exception to this are the frost giants, who are a race of incredibly large, incredibly dangerous creatures. They usually don't go very far away from the large crystalline structure in the center of the map, which you guys can see is right here. So around this base is the frost giants' layers, which is why nothing ever goes over there. It's also the quietest place on the entire field, because otherwise the dragon wakes up and eats people. It's information you guys gathered from Ilwyn as well, but not the frost giant. He apparently decided just not to tell you about them, probably because he found it entertaining.
I'm not surprised he didn't tell us about that. I expected the Yetis, but the frost giants... anyways, I might already know the answer to this question, but we're looking for a god of sorts of this land.
The only thing we have like that is the old rumored ice lord. We most say it's inside of the giant pillar. He gestures outwards to the easily visible massive pillar that goes very far high. Some say that it comes from the pillar, some say it lives underneath the pillar, some say it's in the pillar, but all we know is it's a large, fearsome beast that only occurs if enough sound is made. Hence why everything is quiet.
I was afraid of that. Of course, the Lord's going to be protected. It's going to be one of the most ferocious beings in this land.
As the old tale goes, it likes silence, quiet, and it will do everything in its power as it is and it does not wish. So it stays asleep as long as possible, retaining its body heat and all of its food source. Kind of like hibernation, except on a much longer scale. And if it needs to be awoken, it awakens to... You can try. The pillar is huge. You guys are easily miles away from it, and you can see it clear as day. And it reaches high up to the sky. So a tiny little bomb like that probably wouldn't affect the pillar. I mean, you could throw the bomb at it, but you slice it into the pillar, but I doubt the bomb itself will do much to the pillar. But yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. May I ask if you have anything that could be useful on our journey to the ice pillar?
He reaches over and grabs a second spear with rope on it, which you just saw him use, and hands it to you. This is our primary form of fighting. He gives it to you.
Okay, can I
Well,
notice anything special about it, or?
It's just a spear with a particularly pointed tip. You're not sure if it's made out of metal or some kind of like multi-refined ice, but it is very sharp, very painful, and as you've seen from him using it, very deadly. And the rope seems to be quite useful for pulling it back. It's also curved right at the end, so it goes in easily, but does not come out easily. They're kind of like barbed, except only to two very ends.
Okay. I think this would be useful. I can see some uses in this. Thank you.
Good luck on your journey, traveler. Though I cannot say that I quite envy. If you wish to get past the frost giants, they do not cause much trouble, nor do they look for it. But the main difficulty is moving without them. Unlike the rest of the inhabitants, they are not blind, and they use that to their.
Okay.
As you go out, is just a sheer field of pure snow. They can see for hundreds of miles. The only thing that stops them from seeing is the occasional blizzards past the wind up.
That makes sense. So, I'm also going to ask for another piece of advice if you have it.
Yes.
Do you have any way we can get around being as silent as possible? Some of us here
Are not
are
silent?
aren't as quiet as they can be.
Main way we travel across the lands, if we plan to. He reaches over and digs a little bit into some kind of compartment before pulling out what looks to be a sled of sorts. Using these, they allow you to glide over the snow without attracting. Snow does not creak under. The only difficulty is that it creates wind, which causes large sound to be had in every direction. They are most helpful inside of blizzards, but you can be easily.
Yeah, I can see that. Thank you. I was thinking of a similar idea, but this works.
Good luck on your travel.
Thank you, and good luck with against the beast of this land.
He starts cooking his new meal. Alright. I'm assuming you guys are now going towards the normal area?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, we have a sled, I have a spear, Azul has
What are you
all
throwing
those
the
bombs.
bomb at?
Yeah, I'm actually kind of curious. What's
Oh, at the giant pillar? You have absolutely no idea. You have literally no idea what the did to the pillar, because again, you and the pillar are like separated by many, many miles, and the bomb does not explode very heavily. So you hit the pillar, definitely, at least you believe you did. But you have no idea what happened to the pillar. Nothing extraordinary happens, however. But you did manage to hit the pillar. Surprising is that. Absolutely.
if you were in baseball, you would be a star. That was one hell of a throw. Or maybe,
Nice.
who knows?
Okay, so you
Anyways.
guys are going to be. It is not too difficult of a movement. I'm assuming you guys are using the sleds, or are you guys walking?
We're using the seems That can be the best bet since, as our hunter friend explained, might be our best option of being silent.
Better than the Hydra fight. Very much. Okay, so you guys are more or less gliding over the ice and snow and whatnot for quite a few things. I think a couple of you guys have some kind of ability to move about without using. I mean, you guys have like wind or something.
Let me see. Let me get my. Okay.
I feel like
sheet.
you guys have. Sleds are useful, but
oh wait,
difficult.
I have a teleport crystal.
Oh, you do.
But that won't do it right.
Roasted does use dark poles or double
Okay.
team act, which does makes it so his double team clones does absolutely no sounds as well. So that's how you guys are currently moving along the area. He's using double team pushing you
Sin,
guys. Hmm?
what is it we're doing? Sleds?
Yeah, sleds basically.
I've a penguin. I'm a bird.
Oh yeah, you do that.
I
Too.
will slide. That's my transformation.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, you start sliding forwards on your stomach and whatnot. And everybody else is doing the sleds and being pushed more. So it's a pretty decent journey for the most part. Almost no sound is being made. Rogue roll not d20 because your lag is fantastic.
Okay. I imagine what I can do out here, but.
Oof, that was almost 20.
It almost was a 20, yes.
Good boy. So for the most part, your lag does not appear to be affecting you right now, but the wind is now significantly growing. I mean, like, it's... Whoops. Right? Forward, I can't. Control Z that. God damn it. Okay, so the wind does appear to be picking up quite heavily. As you guys can see via this thing, you guys would be like that size. Yeah, it's a big area. Why do God just click the stupid being? Stop deleting the people. That's so much to ask, Roll20. That's so much to ask. There, you have your people again. This is the fourth time I've made you. I don't want to make more babies. Alright, there we go. Yeah, so it's a big area. And from your heat vision and whatnot, is very useful in this area because unlike the rest of the areas, your heat vision actually isn't sustained from the natural heat of the ground. This ground has no heat because you are probably about 100 meters above the actual frozen ground.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, so there's like no heat around, so being able to see things is very quick. The wind chill is starting to get to you guys though, just a little bit, because the wind is really fast right now. I would say it's probably about 20 miles an hour, and it's picking up quickly. There's also literally no protection at all whatsoever around you guys. There's literally nothing. It's just like 3 miles straight of pure snow and whatnot. And yeah, as you said, it picks up fast. You do have ice magic, so you could potentially do something with it. I mean, both you and Malachi both have ice magic. I don't know how you would use your ice magic in this situation, but you guys do have it.
I don't have ice magic.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you only have ice magic. You guys have water magic.
I have water fire.
Yeah, and Rogue also has fire, so you guys could potentially do something with that as well. But yeah, it's windy, it's cold, and there's a lot of area. You guys also have absolutely no ways of communicating with each other because you guys can hear the steps of the wolves from 500 meters away from you.
Wait a second. I think I have... What skill do I have?
Oh, do you have telekinesis?
Yeah, thought projection, yeah.
Oh yeah, you guys can kind of speak to each other in your heads and what. So you can speak to them if you wish. Be kind of difficult, but less dangerous than being able to talk. As again, you guys can
I
hear
can
the
at least tell them
footsteps of the
where
wolves.
everything is and where not to avoid.
Which is quite useful.
Yeah.
Once I find a freaking pillar to use, I'll put it in the spot of quiet sword. Well, I'll just. Nope, can't do that now. Anyway, so you guys can see the pillar from the distance. You guys can also see the again the it looks like villages almost of what you imagine is um the frost giants, as they do have quite a few villages right. Good size. There's a word down. My brain's half dead. I apologize. But yeah, so you guys go straight for it. Again, the wind is picking up quite heavily. Is it enough to cause a? Is not enough to cause a snowstorm yet, though, but is getting close to it. So you guys are currently completely visible, and guys can see around you for miles and miles, from the wolves over there to the snakes of sorts, or salamanders who are sneaking up, and there's a bunch of other things. There's a lot of creatures. A lot of creatures around you guys. It looks very dangerous, and you guys are completely visible to everything around you, which could be quite dangerous. What you guys doing?
No, I think Azul has something in the chat.
You could make ice walls as going forwards. That could make sounds though, so you would have to be careful about that. And you guys are moving across the grounds at particularly heightened speed. So the ice walls, you could put on like your sleds, which may make a little bit of difference. Could also be
Wouldn't the wind be making noise too?
The wind is making a little bit of noise because it is so unbelievably fast at the moment, but which is why you guys can use the boats without too much difficulty. But the wind is making quite a bit of noise around you, but not too significant. It seems like it's gliding along the ground for the most part, which is why it hasn't picked up into a blizzard yet. So it's just riding the ground at the moment. So if you're pressing your head against the ground, it would sound like a tundra. If you're like 5 feet above the ground, it sounds like a small windpipe.
Okay, makes sense.
Kind of dangerous, but not the most dangerous. Yet, anyways. It is picking up very rapidly, though. But you guys also have absolutely no protection from sight, which is your primary difficulty here. Because, again, there are a lot of hounds around this pillar. You guys could wait it out until the blizzard comes by, and you guys could totally wait on your sleds, but that does have a chance of you guys being found accidentally by wolves and other creatures. Oh, that's a smart plan. Yeah, so you guys do have a little bit of walls around you. Again, is quite noticeable, however, since you're the only things besides the other creatures that are, above 5 feet on the ground at the moment, heading towards these buildings. And there are a couple of guards around these buildings as well. They seem to be almost protecting this area, which makes it a little bit difficult to access. But yeah, you guys are one of the only things that are above 5 feet. Probably about, let me make a little bit of, probably about there. After this point, no animal will cross the area. So there is literally nothing that is 5 feet or higher within this boundary. Which is very useful for the frost giant. Because they don't have to hunt very often. And if they want to hunt, they just have to make a noise a little bit away. But it's a survival tactic. The other creatures don't want to die by the frost giants, so they stay out of the frost giants. You could throw a bomb and try to distract them if you guys get close enough. The wind is helping you guys push a little bit forwards with your mini sails of sorts, but you guys are still quite.
Okay.
I'm also pushing them with my hands because I'm on my belly, remember?
Yeah, so
So
Malachi is
movement.
still behind you guys, kind of pushing you forwards. The wind helping you guys severely, but also could be detrimental. The wind is fiercely picking up now. Sound is getting muffled a little bit. The snow is starting to pick up right about at your guys' boat heights or your sled heights. Fortunately, still obvious, but it is starting to pick up. So you guys could just wait another like probably 20 minutes, and then start going forwards full blizzard. But you guys could very easily get disoriented on which way to go. Even
We could, yeah.
you, Rogue, because there's not a whole lot of heat to track, especially in a blizzard.
Exactly, yeah.
Your senses could be quite useful, but you're also on ground with no vibrations and
Exactly. That's
You do have
what
fire magic.
the only thing that I'll be able to use is my heat vision, which
It's not a lot of heat. There is a lot of heat around the frost giants, but they seem not to put off a whole bunch. So while it is clustered, it is difficult to see, especially you guys. You guys do have fire magic, so you could just start heating your way
Exactly.
forwards, but that does create a lot of visual aspects, so nothing else would see you, but the frost giants would.
But are the frost giants an enemy, or are they hostile or friendly?
You would imagine they're hostile, just from the fact that they kill anything that comes in that red line. But no one has specifically said anything about them being hostile or anything like that. They seem at the moment to be fighting things that could potentially kill them. For example, the ice wolves or the yetis or ice salamanders or like that. But currently, you have absolutely no information on if they will just straight up try killing you or if they will just freeze you in place and laugh at you as you are freezing to death.
Question.
Huh?
Am I able to use my fire to propel while I'm also pushing them?
Kind of like inside of an explosive thing. You could, but it would make sense.
Well, I'm behind everyone and everything pushing the sled. I'm not even like I'm gonna push with my feet with the fire. The fire is coming out of my feet.
Like
jet, like a jet,
Yeah.
like the jet.
You could totally make it like that.
Okay.
The ice walls would not be able to do that quite as well because that's basically a floating piece of ice 5 feet above the ground.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a little bit difficult for you, especially at the speeds that you're going at, for you to make a
What do I have to roll to do
like
it?
Huh?
What do I have to roll?
You can just push yourself. You can just push them forwards. You are going quite a distance.
Am I
do it?
You're going quite quickly at the moment, just straight for the spot. But yeah, so at the moment, you guys have no idea if the frost giants are actually hostile. But you are also trying to wake up basically a god. So they may be hostile to you if you decide to let them know that. Or if you start picking at the, pillar.
Yeah, I understand that. I like to get as much information as I can.
Would make an ice maze, but you probably couldn't make one more than 20 feet to the left and right, and you're at the moment moving at like 100 miles an hour, so you probably couldn't make one that would last more than 20 seconds before you guys rammed right through it. I mean, you could possibly make an ice maze when you get there. Stop moving. Who knows? And the frost giants may actually. Oh well, yeah. When you get there, you can totally make one. The frost giants, to the best of your knowledge, because again, you guys do have a very far distance view at the moment. So what you can see at the moment is they're almost praising the pillar. At least a couple of them are. You don't know if it's some religious thing or if those people are just the outliers or if that's the majority. But some of them do appear to be almost praising the pillar, like it's a god.
Well, I think it's worth getting information from them before we proceed to the ice field, because it seems like frost giant very interesting, and maybe
there are a couple of chunks that have been missing from near the top. Well, more like halfway up, but nothing sustainably damaged and nothing particularly. Hey, you guys could just walk up to them and be like, "Hey, buddies, how you doing? You like the pillar? I like the pillar too."
Also, do they know about the necklaces? And two, what do they, if they do recognize them, are they
Mhm.
involved in their religion? They have.
The pillar, the necklaces, you guys don't seem to find any reference to them or even on the pillar itself. So at the moment there, you guys don't think there's any.
Okay, that's
You guys are
interesting.
now,
Okay.
by the way, at this rough line, which you guys do know is dotted with tiny flags. This helps most the other animals know not to get close, basically, because they are
Okay.
blind. So this is a helpful thing. Even if it's like in a blizzard, animals will know this is the stopping line.
Pretty much, yeah. So.
You guys know at that line, which is about a mile or so from
Okay.
the villages, but at the speed you're going at, that's like 10 seconds. The
Pretty
blizzard
much.
is picking up in full force now. You guys can't see anything that's more than like 30 feet from you.
Okay, well.
Oh.
I think we might want to. If this blizzard picks up more, we might have to seek a shelter until the blizzard passes. So.
Yeah, if you guys want, you can stop at the red line, talk about some stuff. Soren can make an igloo around you, and then you and Malachi can make a
Yeah.
small fire. Make it so things aren't too damaging. Wait out the blizzard, or you guys can get into the town,
Wait.
possibly talk with the frost giants who may also try to kill you. That's a dangerous thing, but yeah, here you could be attacked, but blizzard is very
Exactly.
dangerous.
I'd rather be in a situation where I can see who's attacking me, and oddly enough, I have a way of talking to people. So,
Okay.
let's just get in the town and see what we can find or we can do.
Okay.
So,
Alright, so you guys are gonna try heading to the town, more or less, which as you get into the town, the blizzard has gotten into absolute full force now. It is hundreds of miles per hour winds. It is like ice shards are practically going. You guys can't see anything more than 5 feet in front of you, but there is a semi-large wall that's probably about like 10 feet high or so, that's protecting this town, more or less, from this specific blizzard, which you guys easily hop over, basically. It's not difficult all for you guys to get over. And you do now see is kind of warm. That's comparatively speaking, it's probably like minus 10 degrees instead of minus 50, but comparatively warm. And every single frost giant is now staring at you guys like your horrible abominations of nature. Or possibly they're staring at you like normal ice giants. You're not quite sure. You've never met them before. But just be stupid.
Me and Rogue, how about we go negotiate? We're gonna use our cute and innocent act. Let's do this, bud.
There's the only do too with that.
You just stay behind us and look pretty, bud.
I have speech craft, switch, tutorial, and my quest senses are.
Just sit there and look pretty. That's all you need to do.
yeah. And I think let's not and say we did might come into play here, but not too sure.
Yeah.
I could also mimic the cute and innocent thing.
You cannot do that. But you guys do see ice giants. They are easily 15 feet tall. Like the smallest one there, who is probably a child, is like 7 feet tall. They're, as the name applies, tall. They're giants. Whoops! I just punched my keyboard.
The kid is my height.
Yeah, as the name implies, they are giants. And now that you guys are closer to the pillar as well, you guys notice this thing is easily hundreds of feet tall. It looks like a monument to, like, ice, basically. Probably why they praise it, because inside of a land of pure ice and snow, the thing that stands the highest is the strongest. But, you know. But they look at you, and one of them approaches you. He looks to be semi-old as he cracks his knuckles at you. Travelers.
Yes,
You all notice that he's not looking at Malin the Siest when he says this.
Yeah, I'm just sitting there.
Yeah, we traveled a long way.
I see. Did you not notice the flags we set up there? So any being that came across the line knows we will probably kill them if they get you. Did you not see those? I know it's blizzarding,
we have,
but
yes.
Okay.
I look at it and say, "We saw them, but we thought it would be better than living in the blizzard. We thought that we would risk it just to be safer than some."
At least you
Well,
show
you guys look pretty
semi-intelligence.
Plus, you guys look pretty cool and strong. You guys are probably one of the only things that I can actually respect.
Hold on for just audio. Speaker
Okay,
stop.
I'm gonna like mute.
There we go. I still hear you guys, Rogue?
Can
Yeah.
you hear me?
Yeah,
Yep, I hear you.
yeah, I'm back. Sorry.
Alright,
That's fixed.
so he looks at you, he's like, well, at least you show some signs of intelligence. Most creatures we find out here show signs of intelligence as well as a rutabaga shows. Bob, what does a rutabaga look like? Think I would know? Yes. Brown. Like a rutabaga looks brown.
Yeah, well, we everyone know the low intelligence this land, but obviously you seem like a smart group here, since apparently
We have
you're
mastered the wasteland.
Yes, I can see you have.
I'm gonna go back to mute for a
And
minute.
aside from one or two humans we've encountered, and you're the only ones that seem to have lived here pretty well.
Yes, because our race is superior. We're bigger, tougher. We also like ice more. He gestures to the giant pillar of ice behind him. As you can see, this is a monument that has stood since the beginning of our race, which is probably beginning of time,
Yeah,
wherever that means.
and
Keep your
that's actually
effort.
one. That's actually one thing that brings us here, because you can see that from the land we came from.
Oh,
So we're
you like the pillar of ice as well? You praise the ice lord too?
Yes, we do.
We actually met the Fire Lord.
He gestures to his clan members, I guess. We have more ice warriors. They start cheering. The
Anyone
ice
for
warriors
arm
runs
wrestling?
through the blood of all creatures who accept it. First it freezes, then it melts. Ice.
Anyone for arm wrestling?
No, it's like three of them immediately move to a table. Seems like they like it.
Alright, I'm going over to the ones that are at the tables.
Okay, knock yourself out.
Punches him. Okay, so as you say that, one of the ice people are like, "That phrase you use? Do that arm wrestling? Let's do it!" And then one of them punches himself in the face. He's just out cold.
Intelligence?
We are the smartest race. You can see.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I think our culture and your cultures there's differences, but I think that differences we can overcome.
Arm wrestling is when you use your arm against someone else's arm, and whoever's hand hits the table, they lose.
One of the media just starts arm wrestling you as the
I'm back.
leader once again says, "My name is Borgachaki. May call me Borg." No, your
Let's
inferior
stop back.
human
You
mounts
guys are
can't
talking
say
about arm
it.
wrestling?
What?
Oh, what happened? What happened? I need a recap.
Oh,
Arm wrestling?
I
Azul's
challenge
arm
them
wrestling,
to
and
arm
you guys are talking to the
But what did they do? What did they think?
Oh,
They punched themselves in the face.
yeah, one of them punched themselves in the face because Rogue said, "Go
What?
knock yourself out." Super net.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but so the
And also,
Borg, as
does
you
he have
know.
mucus in his
Hmm?
throat? Mucus in his throat? Because the way he said that, his name.
He's like,
That's
this is the
just how
native language of the ice giants. Borg, right?
Okay, they're aliens from Doctor Who. I'm not gonna try it.
You may call
They
me
are
Borg.
aliens, Doctor Who.
Your inferior mouths cannot possibly articulate the way that ours can. You may call me Borg, tiny inferior human. Ice warrior.
Borg.
Hi, Borg.
Nice to meet. It's a pleasure to meet you, Borg.
Meanwhile, I'm just beating everyone at arm wrestling.
Yeah. One of them kind of puts up a challenge against you, but most of them can't. You do notice a lot of, air quote, children, end air quote, are also jumping on your arm because they find it funny. And it's about the size of a person, so it's quite entertaining to watch. For everyone but you. But yeah, so Borg is like, so travelers, what about the ice pillar? Says everything with ice very dramatically. Brings you here. Do you wish to worship it, praise it, like all ice warriors?
Yes, we do. That was
Well,
what
just
brought
in
us here,
time.
after all.
You're
See,
the
we
chief,
have...
right?
What?
Borg, you're the chief, right?
Yes, I have run this clan since the beginning of my birth.
Is it bad that I just beat all your people at arm wrestling?
No, they are all inferior to me. I've done this on several occasions.
Would you like to try me?
He sits down on a table and slams his arm through the table. Whoops. No table! Just kind of like shunks the table and grabs no one, slams it down. Gently. And by gently, I mean denting the table, or putting his arm on the table.
Alright, so I guess we're rolling to see if I win.
Very much, yeah. You're rolling now. Roll. 13 versus
Oh, bullshit.
18.
No,
As
there
you-
is no way. There
Sin,
is
can I try?
no way. I call rematch.
He's
No, Sin.
easily like 7 feet taller than you, huh?
Sin, can I try it?
I
No, you're
don't
welcome
care.
to.
I call
I like he
rematch.
slams
Okay,
his arm.
I'm
Your
gonna
arm
use
against
my
it.
I'm gonna use my semblance
Okay, okay.
max level.
Oh my
He's going to knock himself out.
god. Get one.
Oh dear.
Oh, I was
Win. It's
almost a point.
automatically a 17 plus the 3.
You
I
do manage
win.
to. You do manage to
I
slam his
am-
arm against the table before
I am
promptly
chief.
passing out on his arm.
I am chief now. Obey me.
You have now passed out on his arm as he's like, impressive ice warrior. Could you? No.
I knocked myself out while doing it.
I'm just gonna pick him up and carry him away. It's okay. He does this all the time.
Ice
Yeah.
warrior is impressive, but if you wish to praise the pillar, the ice pillar. Again, everything
Yes,
with
I
ice is.
praise the pillar in my sleep.
Yeah.
I basically mumble. Praise.
You wish to
pillar.
praise it. We have
Praise
many
the
rooms in
pillar.
order to praise it. We have sitting in front of the pillar, and we have sitting to the left of the pillar. We also have one to sitting to the right of the pillar.
How do you
And-
know which side is which? It's a pillar.
He's just staring at you. You look at the pillar, and one is to the left, and one is to the right. And the one that you're looking at is the one right in front. You see?
Okay. I think we will go in the room to the right.
Ah, smart plan. That is the room in the right.
Okay.
You're fairly certain his claims of being a very smart race is not true, but I don't think you want to argue with a man 7 feet taller than you. So,
Yeah, I'm not gonna question it. I'm just gonna play. So.
as you guys walk into a room, it's really really nice actually. You guys also notice that very pretty, covered in ice, but it's very pretty. There's also a wall which is just the pillar. That's the entire wall. It's 3 other walls which are actual walls, but one wall is just the pillar.
Huh.
So you guys could try walking into the pillar if you want to, or burning a hole into the pillar, or being brunette.
You know,
Mhm.
I'm pretty cold
I
right
heard
now.
punch the pillar.
I think I need to melt a hole in this pillar. Accidentally, but I warmed myself up. So.
Yeah, you will accidentally burn a hole in the pillar.
Yeah, make it look like an accident because no, I don't know any better because I have never been in an ice environment. So, and since my element is fire, well, fire and
Alright, so
ice.
you
Well,
start melting it. Alright. So as you start melting it, nothing really appears to happen for the most part. You do manage to get a sizable way into the pillar until you hit a very specific spot that looks a little bit tougher than the actual pillar. It also looks a little bit nicer, almost like scales you would imagine from a lizard. Do you still try to burn it?
Oh shit!
can I look into it a little bit more? Because I believe I have an idea of what we've ran
Yep.
into. But
Hello,
Wait, what happened?
darkness, my old friend.
actually, can I?
Son,
You guys are
Oh,
on.
dear.
That's not even the page you guys are on. There we go.
Oh wow.
Jesus, roll 20. What's going on with you? It's not even the page you guys were on.
I claim
Okay.
no responsibility for this.
No, right? So you're going
I don't
to
either.
just kind of like explore this little weird divot a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm going.
Okay, so as you start exploring it a little bit, roll d20.
surprisingly
Lovely.
high.
As you look into a little bit more, you do see a faint amount of heat rising off of it, as well as the fact that these are in fact actually scales. From what you've been told from Ilwyn, as well as a couple other things, you imagine this is the beast in the
The
pillar.
Ice Lord.
Yeah, the Ice Lord.
Oh.
Because it appears that the pillar of ice is what's on his back, essentially. Why it doesn't get up very often.
What?
Okay.
I
That's-
guess.
I
Should I
think I
try
found
to cut a limb off of
the
it?
ice god.
You can try awakening him by burning the crap out of him, but you,
Can I look around and see if I can find
if you can find a what?
find where we're looking for the necklace or
The necklace, you can try. You do have like 3 other ones, which at the moment seem to radiate with the other ones. The more you move it around, the more it kind of like gyrates towards where the other one is. But what you can tell is that it's down. Specifically down from the scale. You don't know if this means that it's inside of the creature's body, or if it's in just further down away, like on its neck or something, as it is currently curled up. But it's definitely in, just down. At the moment, you could try cutting off its limb, but the only thing you can see is like a square foot of its back, basically. It's huge.
'cause
This thing is massive.
I mean,
Knowing that
technically, if I
this-
try, I could hit the heart.
I mean, knowing that this is a huge ice pillar resting on this dragon's back, if this pillar collapses, yeah, we're gonna anger the frost giants.
Oh,
I
significant.
think the frost giants probably get eaten by the Ice
Dragon?
Lord at this point.
Probably with the food chain, but still.
The
If we kill-
guy that you did meet did say that it only awakens when it's hungry, or when something is
Yeah.
loud enough that it makes it hungry.
Okay.
I got this.
Here,
No.
here's
No.
What are
a
you
little-
gonna do, Mal?
No. Here's a little thought I had.
Hold on. I'm knocking
Listen,
Mal out.
I,
I'm not.
You
No.
keep punishing Mal so badly. He's just
Yeah, I don't even get to do anything before he even.
Oh my god.
No, go wait, guys, wait.
I knocked myself out. Go road.
Oh, God. Yeah. Can I connect with this
What are you doing?
dragon? Can I use thought projection to kind of get into this dragon's mind?
I believe the thought projection you
I was gonna do
can.
something similar.
Oh
Synchronized
yeah.
souls, and none of y'all.
Oh, the
I don't know,
synchronized
I'm
souls
just,
are
Azul thought
actually
I was gonna
powerful.
do.
I'm just asking
Synchronized souls is
because
for your pet, but you do have thought projection.
I
yeah,
believe
I do. I
do.
do
It
have
wasn't.
thought. Yeah, sorry.
Me and Rogue have that. It just wasn't written on my. For some reason, I do have
I
it.
don't know why you weren't.
And
Weird.
also, I really go back to past
Mhm.
Jumpchain powers, but I am
You are.
my Pokemon farm did have telekinesis.
Oh yeah, the you get it from
Telekinesis.
Pokemon MD, and then you
Yeah.
got blended from. Yeah, so
Yeah, I
you
don't know
can pick
how
up.
I don't have.
What?
I don't know how I don't have it on my thing, but I did have it. For some
Yeah.
reason, it's not there though.
Okay.
Everything that's on Yoshi is everything that was given. But anyways,
Uh-huh.
I gave you it. I don't think it was added though when I made my thing. Because
I have no
remember, I
idea. I've
wasn't in
redone you
that one.
guys' characters like 4 times to make sure everything's on there. But I'll be
Yeah,
redoing it again.
I
So.
wasn't in that episode, so that's
But
why.
anyways, so it's you send a thought projection to its head, and the number one thing you can tell, it's actually like less of its head and more like almost kind of in front of it, kind of like talking, kind of like a mental space of sorts. The one thing you can tell is A, it's tired, probably because it's sleeping. 2, it's sleeping, and 3, it's cold. Its brain is hibernating.
Okay. Okay.
You could start shouting in its brain if you wanted to. Don't know
I-
if that would work, but
Well, I
you
can
could
try talking,
shout
see.
at it. You try talking at it, you know. You're
I
you're
can try-
effectively Ant's brain at the moment.
I can. Yeah, I can try talking to it. I mean, it can't hurt, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it could for all of you, but you know,
I mean, true, true. I mean, try
could stand up.
a little bit and kind of get his life story, or I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out if it's possible. No, it's probably not going to be possible to get out of here without waking this guy and
Yeah. You
having
could,
to
yeah, if you
fight
want
him.
to
So
talk to it, roll d20. See if
yeah.
talk to you, or if it just thinks you're insignificant. Most dragons do. 11. Is it awake? It's awake. You start
Okay.
trying to talk to it. What do you say?
Uh, uh. So you're one of the oldest beings in the lands, from what I've told.
Oh, I'm awake. Wait, but I'm not awake. Oh, right, question. You an ant? Anyways, yes, I am very old. Why am I awake? I have to be awake for another, very 2. Mental math is hard. Oh, I just, not like 200 years. Why am I awake? I'm not hungry.
Well,
Oh, man, I'm hungry
well,
again.
well, technically you're still asleep. I'm just talking in your mind. This is your mental state.
Now my mental
So,
state is hungry.
yeah, well, consider this as a small dream. So,
Dream.
anyways, I've traveled a long distance to see what knowledge I can learn from you, because I, at heart, am a scholar, and I'm trying to learn as much history from this land as possible.
Well, the first thing you
So,
want to know is land is stupid. Second thing you want to know is this land is. Every time I wake up, it's some giant foot being like stomp, 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 and I rip off its legs with my teeth.
well, I don't blame him for that. I mean, I've met the leader of the Frost Giant. Yeah,
Those things
honestly,
keep shouting.
he thinks he's. Yeah, they're kind of worshiping you, and no, technically worshiping the ice pillar, but
I
technically
hear
you're
them in my
in the
dreams
ice pillar.
sometimes.
So,
Hard to sleep
well,
with. Keep thinking of waking up.
well, they are kind of worshiping you, and that kind of confuses me. But I'm here to learn.
Up sometime soon, right? You know, worshipping me. I'm a god, I guess. I'll rip off their legs. I'll eat you. I'll make sure they watch. eggs. Weird, creepy human thing in my life. Think of humans, think of dragons, or feet. Man, I got a hankering for feet. Ooh.
Well, I'm not stopping you from doing that. I mean, if they're annoying, then maybe you should take care of them.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I can tell you they're not going to stop.
Starts to stretch, which is kind of weird because in his brain was like, all right, time to wake up. What's this feeling on my back? Something sit on me?
I'm headed out.
Yeah, that would
All right,
be a.
See ya.
Alright, see ya.
Go and finish this
I-
episode.
Sorry, I just have to go.
You're good.
I can't remember how tall. You guys, you're basically on your back is resting a huge pillar of ice, and it's tall enough to see clear across the other lands. So that's probably one reason why they're worshiping in particular. But yeah,
Wait. E. Whoa.
well, they might be because we didn't really. I really haven't gotten that much information from them. But in all honesty, I don't think they're that bright.
Well, let's go meet the family, shall we?
Yes.
I love him already.
Your mental scape is then kind of like removed almost as you feel it start to shift under you, and by shift I mean the entire tower starts crackling, all the way up.
Okay, well, guys, I think we need to get out of here. The show's about to start.
Yeah, show's
All
about
right,
to have
let's
a
see if
fun
I'm.
time.
Yep, I carry him out.
Start bringing them out, and the Borg is like, my fellows, what did you have fun praising the pillar? It seems to be crackling. That
Yes,
hasn't
we
happened
did.
in ever.
Yes.
Pray too hard?
The whole thing happened. We prayed. Yes, we prayed so hard we got an answer.
You got an answer from the being? I knew you were ice warriors. Yes, the gods have
Yep.
praised us. He just starts shouting as you guys are running.
Snap
You see, quite possibly
Yes.
one of the largest beings you have ever seen in your entire life, easily making the towns look tiny, easily making the freaking ice giant look like a dwarf comparatively. This thing is unbelievably freaking huge. And it eats him.
Yes, he wanted to meet you.
You're not quite sure if he was sad about it when he got eaten or if he found it pretty entertaining. But he's eaten, and this thing is friggin' gigantic. Let me move to it. Fantastic. Ice pillar. Giant dragon. Again, this thing is huge. Every single creature at this point, by the way, has fucked off.
I can imagine. I mean, the big pillar of ice is shattering, and the dragon coming out of it kind of has a intimidation factor to it.
Yeah, so that's about the size difference between y'all.
Yeah, that's a big dragon.
It's really big. Though you do notice, actually, roll d20 real quick.
Okay.
Ooh,
Don't. But you slightly notice a weird glimmer inside of its chest frame, right at the center of its chest. Burnett
Do I notice?
registers this as the item you guys are looking for. It's right inside of its chest. It doesn't seem to notice, because it doesn't seem to have actually peeled the armor. But it is pretty much embedded in the chest frame, kind of like a weird jewelry kind of thing, as is the fourth point of the 5-point star that you guys are trying to find. And it looks hungry as it just starts shoving frost giants into its mouth. They seem to be willingly jumping into its mouth at this point. It's like,
Oh
ugh.
wow.
Feet rips off the feet of one as it starts screaming. Tasty. I need fire. Oh, shoves into its mouth anyways. You also notice that the ambient temperature has easily gone down by 40 degrees, as well as the blizzard has just stopped. He literally managed to create such gigantic wing flaps that the blizzard that was raging at probably 150 miles an hour stopped.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, he's big. He doesn't look
I can
angry,
see-
though. He just looks hungry.
I can see why you're considered a god in this land.
Oh, it's been so long since I've moved. You know what happened if I freeze their feet? You know, like freezes one and shoves in his mouth. It's like, oh, creatures. Food. Ah, you're too tiny to food. How?
Yeah.
Picks up a particularly large frost giant and shoves into his mouth. His teeth are like ice daggers. He looks at you. You, tiny creature of infinitesimal size. You woke me up. I had now 200 years to sleep.
Yeah, I do apologize about that. I didn't think I would wake you up. Yeah, apparently the frost giants were kind of starting to do that.
Yes, well, very tired, but these things gave me some food, so I'll let you talk for a moment before I rip off your toes and legs and arms,
Okay,
throats.
okay.
What if I feed you some food from another land?
He raises his eyebrow. Like a 50-foot centipede? I sometimes go over there now and again.
How about a few of them?
Oh, I'll let you keep talking.
Cooked.
I haven't had something that's cooked for a long time. You notice as it's breathing, its breath is actively freezing the air in front of it.
Okay, well.
So, creature, tell me. It steps a little bit closer, which causes the entire ground to shake and bumble around you guys like an earthquake. It's easily 300 something feet tall, and yeah, it's a single one of its talons is at least 3 times bigger than any of one of your bodies. Is tell me, creature, what is it you wish to know?
Oh, he likes to know stuff. I'm
Yeah,
actually interested in something that's been stuck on you.
Oh, it starts like looking at its wings.
It's on your chest frame.
Oh, he looks down. He just can't quite get his head to curl up far enough down.
May I help you get it, sir?
Sure, I don't care. He takes he takes one of his talons and shoves it through his pretty much scale mail on his chest all the way to the base of his talon. This thing is so thick that very little actually I noticed. He pulls out and there's not even blood coming out of it. It's literally like probably at least 20, 30 feet thick ice metal of sorts on just his chest frame. Even he can't pierce all the way through. You wish to have something from my chest. You're welcome to grab it. I know I'm epic.
I do have to admit, you have quite the amazing chest.
Exactly,
Yeah.
that is.
This is absolutely
can-
eating people at this point. Like, so. Why do you want me away?
We were actually just after a pendant that's currently on your chest frame. He just wants to learn.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
well.
I want to learn what happens when I gather all 5 of these pendants together. See what happens.
Oh, I
So
see.
I've heard a lot of legends and rumors. And I want to see.
See about carry the 2 and then have your Earth years taken to about 400 years ago. There's this human decided to walk around. He was puny and sad. This is about when I was kind of tiny, actually. I could put him in the palm of my talons. Rather tiny back then. Probably about the size of that pillar. He points to a nearby pillar that's easily 15 feet tall, 15 times your guys' size. Ah, the good old days. Anyways, back then he was a very trusted, not enemy. I don't know what you call those things. Something when
Friend.
someone you don't eat. Friend? Really?
Friend,
Wait,
yeah.
eat your
Yeah, that
friends.
would be a friend.
No, you don't eat.
Generally, you don't, but
No. Well, I learn everything new every day. Anyways, back then, he had a complex about him not being powerful enough. Apparently, the fact that all humans are just inferior to every other race was, annoying. I can kind of understand, except I'm not. Not inferior. Literally
Yeah, I
everything
can
is
kind of
below
just
me.
beat the ice giants you ate in arm wrestling, which is
Yeah.
a
These are a new
little
species,
challenge.
actually. I haven't seen these ones. Probably spawned sometime last. Anyways, back then, he had a complex about being more powerful than anything on the planet. So he started a hunt for things that make him more powerful. Eventually, he found this amazing suit of armor, which I almost ate. I had to fish out of my stomach. How'd you know, out of my teeth? Is it in my teeth? It was something like that. I had to fish out of my teeth. It wasn't very strong. Apparently, though, normal, every other creature on the planet can't touch it, but, kind of tasty. It tastes like rotting metal. All we got from the bog area. I don't know. I don't eat those things. It gave me tapeworms. How difficult it is to sleep when you have tapeworm inside of you, the size of your arm. Ugh.
Yeah, those can
Got
be
that
quite
thing out.
annoying.
yeah.
Yeah, anyway, so he got this amazing suit of armor and started terrorizing the villages, stuff like that. And then he got bored. No one could beat him. So he started to wait until people could beat him. Everyone was so afraid that they never actually got to beat him. And he never challenged me. I went back to sleep. About 50 years later or so, I woke up again, got a real big hankering for some hands. Also, some centipede tentacles. That was the day I learned to tapeworms. Don't go into the bog area. They taste bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hear that's a pretty poisonous area.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what you've heard.
But I learned that he apparently met some creatures and gave them some pendants. And then he met me again and punched me in the chest. I laughed. He got considerably stronger, actually made a dent in my chest. Probably. I don't know, I couldn't see it. And
Oh,
then he
that's
flew
probably
away.
the pendant then.
Oh, that's what he did. Well, if you
Yeah,
find him, I don't know, bring him back to me, I guess. I'm kind of hungry.
Um,
Maybe his armor will taste better this time around. It tastes like very bad stuff last time. Maybe it tastes better this time. I'm eating it.
yeah, maybe. I mean, who knows? I mean,
Ilwin
it's
was
been...
kind of interested in him too.
Oh, that fairy is still alive. Whew.
He
Good
is,
days
yeah.
with him. He used to experiment on me. And by experiment, I mean he would start injecting me with stuff.
Okay.
Lots. It was a lot of needles.
Well,
I was back when
Yeah,
I was like 700 years ago. Back when I
yeah,
was
he
actually your
well,
size.
he has a lot of experiment. Although in good
Yeah.
news, you also have a lot of options in food.
Oh.
Yeah.
Forest has gotten bigger, I see.
Yeah, we can also
Fantastic.
go grab some creatures from the ocean.
Oh. Ooh, back a long time ago, the ocean was filled with creatures only the size of my talon. Got big. Several hundred years would do that to a guy. You lose kind of track of what is big and what's not, especially when literally nothing can kill you. But I might sleep in the ocean, so. Oh, that means I have to breathe in the ocean. Nah.
We also kind of took the Ocean Lord over to Ilwin, and he killed the Ocean Lord.
The
And
Ocean Lord.
added
What's
the...
that?
That's what they call you guys. You're the Ice Lord. Ilwin was the Fey Lord, something like that.
Yeah, I believe so.
Ah,
And
must have spawned sometime last 100. Or it just kind of escaped from me. I can't imagine not
it's
being able to see it since it would be so big.
Well,
well,
basically...
actually, it's kind of small. It
Yeah.
can shapeshift.
Raises its, well, you imagine it's an eyebrow, but you're not quite sure. You're telling me that this massive hulking lord is not big.
Uh,
It can be, from what I can tell.
it
But it can
can
also
be as
be
big
very,
about,
very small.
yeah, it can be about the size of maybe your hind leg.
Oh, well, that's not too bad. I'll give it the Lord status. So I'll give it the Lord's. For now, though, I am awake. It is now time to eat probably most of the things in this planet. Depends on how big the sea creature. So I'll leave you, wherever you are, to your own business. And I probably won't freeze wherever you call hometown.
Okay,
Actually,
well,
we're not
sounds-
from this world.
Oh, even better then. I'll just freeze the world. You guys have fun with
Yeah, well,
wherever
Yeah,
you're
you can.
as long as you leave the standard town no last, that'll be good.
suppose I can leave. I did. I was born there, 1,000 years ago. I think it was 1,000.
cool.
Interesting.
I'll leave
Okay.
that be. I'll just freeze the ocean. Yeah, you guys don't need
Okay,
the
Oh,
ocean.
that sounds
good.
sounds good
I don't
enough.
mind. I don't mind.
All right, cool.
And if you want, you can eat the demon lord after we beat the crap out of him.
Oh, fantastic. You know,
Which is the guy
Damien was
that-
very irritated. Most people did. Like, I liked him because he thought he was better than everyone except for me, which is true. I'm better than him. Everyone
Yeah,
else,
we're
he's
just gonna
better
beat the
than
crap out of him.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
The Ocean Lord shapeshifted into a Hydra, which is kind of like your species, but super small compared to
And
you.
with
Sounds tasty.
7 heads.
Yeah,
Oof.
and it had multiple different elements.
Sounds tasty.
That it
Haven't had
control.
another element. You see, a little bit of you guys are kind of nice to me, and I'm very hungry. I'll just go, but I'll let you guys have a little bit of information. When you fight the Demon Lord,
Actually, I do have some already cooked
oh,
Synspeaks
fantastic! Just
over in the
shove it at me, I
Feyland.
don't care. So he like grabs into his chest and rips off a chunk of his armor, which you imagine is where he was trying to find the whatever you call it before slamming it down in front of you. The piece of the necklace is definitely there, as well as about 2 tons of his armor. But you know, didn't even make a dent in his chest frame. But, yeah, he was like, "There you go. You know, you're your prize. I'll give you a little bit of help when it comes to defeating Damien. You see, his armor is powered by a force field of sorts. In order to deactivate this force field is very difficult. Namely, you have to get rid of several of his shields that is on his body. You have to target very specific points. None of them are particularly dangerous, but none of them particularly strong, but they are very hard to defeat if you don't know where they are. One is on his shin, one is on his chest, one is on his face, another one is on his shoulder. Obviously on the armor, of course. But you have to hit all 4 of these in any order you wish in order to deactivate his shield. If you don't know where these are, he's pretty much impossible to kill. Except for me, I could just eat him, but then he'll come out of my rear end and not be a pleasant experience for either of us. You gotta try to shatter a rock and be kind of like that.
True.
Although he'd probably die of starvation inside me, so who's the winner now, bitch?
You said the knee, shin, chest, and face?
Shin, chest, shoulder, and face.
Shoulder.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. So,
No problem. Now, I'm just eat some your delicious meals here. He just kind of likes to win them away from you, and I'll eat most of the ocean. Have fun with wherever
Okay.
you guys know next.
okay.
I'm assuming
okay.
If
from the
you
other.
want, you can bring some of the ocean creatures back and I'll cook them.
Oh, fantastic! I'll bring
Yeah,
them back
he's
here.
a-
You know, this
He's
is
an
my
excellent
just
cook, so.
sleeping place.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm the
Come
cook
back,
of the group.
come back in like a week. And I'll be here, and if you don't get back to me by a week, I'll see you in 400 years.
Okay, sounds good.
Alright.
Yeah, this world cannot handle my awesomeness for more than like a week time. Also, it won't survive from how much I eat, but
True. I
That's
can see that.
understandable.
Yeah.
I like to keep things alive so I can eat them later. It's always fun
That's
when someone starts
Yeah,
praising
it's
me as a
always fun
god
that way. Can't
off their
kill all of
legs.
them. I mean, you have to leave some to know you populate the planet, so.
Hey, maybe you can help us with the Bog Lord, or whatever he was called again.
Oh. He looks over at the distance, which, considering you guys are in, town, and he's just like, oh, hold on. He flips into the sky, which sends him about 400 feet into the sky in about 2 seconds, which is an incredibly chilly wind. And by chilly wind, I mean icicles are forming in your hair. Yeah, it's cold. As he goes in the air, he looks, and he lands back down. Ah, you mean that giant squid? Oh, don't worry, it's dead. Kind of.
Oh.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Well, it
Well,
hasn't moved in 400 years, so I imagine it's dead. Either that, or it's still alive somehow and won't move for the next 400 years.
yeah, we were told it might be alive, so I was just curious.
Yeah, well, if you do have to fight it, I'll fly over and eat it from the tail to its head. And, be a nice snack before I relay. If not, just I don't know. Don't let me touch it. Don't let it touch me. I don't like those. Just spit on you a lot. All of them just
Yeah, that's
spit on you
understandable.
Yeah,
constantly.
we
Ugh.
we had to deal with the Hydra. One of the heads was a bog head
Yeah.
kind of thing that kept spitting things or stuff at us. I'm not sure what, but
I'd say
Yes.
it was a toxic mist,
Yes, the bog
I would say it's
itself.
acidic mist.
The bog itself radiates some kind of weird toxicity, which melts certain types of moss. One of the reasons why I don't get near it. It can even melt my armor. Although I have so much armor, it's practically like touching it with a hot iron. But it's still it destroys the
It's annoying.
sheen.
okay.
Also, they're disgusting creatures.
I can
True.
agree with you on that.
So if you
Yeah.
go in there, prepare to have your defenses lowered simply because
Okay.
it's disgusting. You'll want to throw up like the entire time you get in there, you get out of there fast as possible, or you're gonna lose whatever you creatures have inside of your squishy chest stomach area.
That's why I'm the best suited out of this whole crew.
Mm-hmm.
I'm immune to the poison.
Well, your squishy body thing will have a fun time there then. They're disgusting creatures, but they're relatively easy to kill or eat. Ugh,
Yeah, I would imagine.
tastes so
I
acidic.
could probably one-punch them.
Some of them are parasites, however, so do be careful of them. They will latch onto you and they will start eating.
And that is why I have this sword that is supposedly indestructible.
Impressive.
Mm.
But okay. It then takes to the sky and promptly disappears.
I have a question. That piece of armor he tore off himself.
Yep.
Can I look at that more?
Oh yeah, you're welcome to. It's like 2 tons of metal that's just there. The piece is easily in the center, but it's just a
I'm
massive.
just going to be picking it up for him.
Yeah, because I think we can get, if we can get to a blacksmith or someone that can craft it into like armor or maybe a weapon or
Very
something.
useful armor, yeah.
Yeah.
Or a shield or something.
Yeah, they could definitely use it.
Yeah, you guys. can totally
Actually, I
find
think it
them.
might be big enough for all of us to have armor.
Friggin' huge. Unfortunately, it's also
Yeah,
unbelievably strong. Even like Burnett cannot like bend it or anything like. Probably considering it's been frozen and reforged like millions of times over the hundreds of years. That has been compressed
Yeah,
under
true.
a mountain of ice.
Okay.
Very strong.
We do get the pendant out of it, right?
Yeah. The pendant is just it was just kind of sitting in there, kind of. The armor didn't reforge or anything around it, so it was just kind of there. Probably only in there because he's been buried under ice for so long, it just kind of stuck. It's very easy to
Okay.
get out, surprisingly,
Yeah.
especially for you guys. But yeah, so you guys now complete the fire area. You guys complete the ice area, water area, and the forest area. And easily, the water area was the most difficult, and the frost and the Greenland area, you guys did something I was completely not expecting.
Oh.
Woohoo!
I was
You to fight that
expecting a
thing.
fight.
Yeah. Expecting you guys to fight that thing, which would be incredibly difficult for you. But, you guys now have the bog, which, even from standing
And
near
we
the
have-
eternally burning flames, still smells horrible.
And ironically, we have 2 powerful friends.
Exactly. That's why I like talking over
Stabbing
fighting at first. Exactly. I mean, if
it. You guys do
obviously
see the ice dragon flying over, like, here, kind of, and he's just dive bombing the ground and just numbing things. Yeah, you guys can actually see him almost perfectly from your distance, and he's currently ripping the head off of a giant, one of those long neck dinosaurs.
Brontosaurus?
Yeah, Brontosaurus. He just ripped its head off. Blood is spewing like hundreds of feet into the air. He's just kind of laying back inside the sky, chewing on its skull.
And you
Oh,
just see me looking over at him, going like, yeah.
I'm glad he's having fun. Oh, wait a second. I'm forgetting about a squid.
Yeah,
Or-
yeah.
or-
The squid dude is there. If you guys want to go and talk to Ilwin, which we'll do
Oh.
on next episode.
Okay. No, I was talking about the old man that we were.
Oh yeah,
supposed
the
to
old
go
man
kill?
you guys didn't shoot. Yeah, yeah.
Wait.
I hope he's not
I
mad
got
at
the
us.
perfect solution. I hit him from here. I fired an arrow, hit the old man for his
So
wish.
so we're just don't use this map. Just so you guys get like a. So he's just singing along, doing his normal jazz. Thought he was
One of
at
them are
5
full.
him. Yeah, so he's just there. He's talking some of his things, and he's just like, they didn't come back. Never come back. I will have to live for the rest of my days. Shunk. Yay! Fucking grandchildren of the grandchildren of my grandchildren can use my words in their holy texts without them being fucking idiots. Fuck you, children. Fuck you. He grabs a scroll of paper as he's now bleeding to death. Fuck you, children, and all of you sea creatures. Ancient prophecy bullshit. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Good. I kept my promise to the old.
Yeah.
You can
You
tell
did.
he was a very angry old man. He was very tired of not dying. But yeah, the old man is now dead. Thankfully. Thank God. No one has to deal with his bullshit. But yeah, they now have a new prophecy. Fuck you.
I'm so glad I rolled that 19.
I know, right? Alright, well, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I know this is a little bit longer, 2 hours and 12 minutes so far. A little bit longer than it usually is, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it anyways, and hopefully you guys get to experience a little bit more of this. You guys are also almost done with this thing, a lot faster than I expected you guys to be. You guys got the bomb, the bog, and then the Damien, and then you guys get to do on the next thing. So if you guys are interested in what we're doing next, join the Discord in the description below, and you guys can see where we're going, what we're doing, whatnot. There's also the villains sheets will be in the description below as well at some point, and you get to them. But hopefully everyone's enjoying it so far. And the next world, I don't know what it's going to be. We should probably discuss that, but well. But it's probably going to be like Halo or Digimon or something of that
Digimon.
sort.
Yeah.
Hopefully you guys,
Jumpimon.
hopefully you guys
Yeah.
enjoy, and we'll see all of you on the next episode. Wiedersehen.
Later, guys.
Be